Hey Mama to be, congratulations on entering one of the most beautiful phases of your life. This is going to be very transformative, but right now the first trimester may feel like a whirlwind. Sudden tiredness, nausea, mood swings, and 100 questions in your mind. And it also seems like nobody truly understands what you're going through. But you don't have to do this all alone. Now, in this video, I am going to share what you can expect in your first trimester. Things you can do, simple but yet powerful, to take care of yourself. And also things you must avoid. Never do these. In the end, I am also going to share one mistake that can put your pregnancy at risk. You never should do it. So stay with me till the end.
My name is Gurpreet Kaur Sanyal, and welcome to Momentum Women, where we support you in your fertility, prenatal and postpartum journey.
See, the first trimester is not only a physical transformation, but it's also an emotional roller coaster. One day you may be feeling happy and excited, and the next day you could be feeling scared, anxious, and even guilty of not being happy enough. Okay, please hear me out. That's completely normal. Your hormones are shifting rapidly, like progesterone. It is calming your uterus, making your digestion really slow. As an effect, you feel nauseous. You can be sometimes constipated or might even have diarrhea. HCG is rising. That can make you feel dizzy or fatigued. But I promise you that all of this is your body's way of keeping you safe, keeping your baby safe. I'll explain that in a while. But whenever you feel overwhelmed, there's a simple thing that you can do. Place a hand on your heart. Place a hand on your belly. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and affirm to yourself, I am safe. My baby is safe. We are in this together. See the magic of it. It instantly calms you down, takes you to a different dimension, connects you to your baby, and your baby's nervous system is also calm. In the first 12 weeks, your baby's foundation for its entire life is forming. In just a few weeks, your baby's tiny little heartbeat will start, and the organs and limbs and even the first brain cell will start developing. And now, as a side effect, you might feel nauseous, you might feel tired or making trips to the bathroom more often, but all of this is not random discomfort. They are just gentle signs that your body is protecting your baby. See, for example, nausea keeps you away from foods that could be harmful for you or your baby. And let's also talk about fatigue. Fatigue forces you to take the rest that you actually need, your body needs, your brain needs. You are making a baby. So instead of fighting these changes, perhaps we can try and work with them. It is ultimately your body's wisdom. We do have, of course, ways to dial it down a bit. However, for that, you would just need a professional consultation from a coach or a doctor. Of course, if it gets out of hand, you must consult your doctor or your coach or your midwife to handle it properly. But in general, let me just talk about what you can do. We all know that we need to take prenatal vitamins. That is the first thing. Whatever prenatal vitamins your doctor gives you, please have them. Do not skip your prenatal vitamins because these are important for your pregnancy, for you and your baby. Another thing that I see people doing is not having frequent meals. And this is something that you need to do. You need to eat small, but you need to have frequent meals. Don't wait until you're starving. Right? It can also build acidity in your body. So to avoid that, you can have small meals at regular intervals. And talking of acidity, let's not forget water. You need to keep sipping water. Don't wait until you get really thirsty to have water. Keep water right next to you if you are working, if you want to walk to your kitchen and then have water so that you can exercise a little bit, that's also okay. But just keep having water. It's really important for you, for your baby, for the amniotic fluid and everything. Another thing that you must do is rest. I understand that being a workaholic or working a lot or not having enough sleep is one of the things we gloat about, but that shouldn't be the case in your pregnancy. You should take rest. You need that extra rest a little bit. Don't feel guilty about it at all. Now let's talk about the negatives, the things you should never do in pregnancy. I know that you know this, but I have to say this. You cannot smoke and you cannot have alcohol in pregnancy. Even if someone's smoking around you, just be away. I think your body will instantly tell you to be away from that person who's smoking at that time. Not a smoker, but a person who's smoking. You wouldn't be able to be near them. Another thing is that you should limit your caffeine. That is an important factor. So if you are addicted to it, talk to your doctor how much is okay for you to have. And I know that you have seen enough reels that talk about what you should not have, such as raw meat or unpasteurized cheese or even junk food. See, all of this is very important. Whatever that you eat through the placenta, it goes to your baby and creates patterns in the baby's brain. So you would want to eat healthy. Whatever that you've been eating healthy before your pregnancy, just continue doing that. Add a little bit of more fiber is what I'm going to say, and a little bit of protein. And also, some people cut caffeine off and introduce new teas. You have to be really careful of it. Some teas can even dilate your cervix. So you should talk to your doctor or your midwife or your pregnancy coach before you go on having any tea. And one of the most important things that you should not do is compare your pregnancy with somebody else. I understand that some people who are around you can compare their pregnancy with you. So avoid that as much as you can. Avoid whatever that they have to say. But you should not purposely compare your pregnancy with somebody else's. It is a very bad thing to do for yourself, for your baby. The comparison is never good. So what you can do perhaps is just remind yourself that every pregnancy is different. Every journey is different, especially if the journey of that pregnancy was 20, 30 years ago. It was a different time altogether. And I'm sure by now you must have heard that be happy. You're supposed to be happy. It is going to impact the baby. And it's not an old wives' tale anymore, because science itself says that through epigenetics, your baby's brain is impacted on how they respond to any situation later in life. Whatever that they learn in the womb, that's their response to that situation. For example, stress. Stress is something, we teach our kids in the womb. And I know a lot of women get scared thinking of it. A lot of women go guilty that how am I supposed to stop this? I don't have tools to handle this stress or fear or anxiety. But please understand that there are tools. You just need to find the right tools. You just need to understand how to handle this stress. Use yoga, use breath work, use techniques like Garbh Sanskar. In my program, whenever that I have people in my program for pregnancy, I teach them the same, how to handle stress, how to handle any fear, anxiety, or thoughts, so that we can pass on the good energy, the good imprint on the baby's brain. I understand that it's easier said than done, but it can be done. There are powerful practices that you can also do on your own. For example, listen to affirmations, gentle meditations, breath work, ragas that you can listen to. These are all not just feel-good activities. These have an impact on your baby. Now let's talk about that one thing I told you could put your baby, your pregnancy at risk. That is when a woman gets pregnant. Often, she rushes to a prenatal yoga program or to join a swimming class or something that keeps her active so that she could be healthy in the pregnancy. Whenever people come to me for this, I always tell them to wait until the 13th week of their pregnancy. See, this is the foundation that you're building in the first trimester. You do not have to be active. You just need to be active enough to create the foundation of the baby. But I would say that you can go for walks, but not join something that can put stress, physical stress on yourself or your baby. Once the ultrasound is done after the 13th week or on the 13th week, your doctor will tell you if it's okay or safe to join a prenatal yoga class or not. They will also tell you your placenta position if you are in a country that they can tell you. They will also let you know other things that are good for your pregnancy or how the baby's growth is. After that, join any program which is going to keep you healthy, your baby healthy and thriving, and prepare you for labor, delivery, and beyond. Mama, I know that the first trimester can be a storm. However, you're not alone in this. Always listen to your gut, always listen to your doctor, always just have your support system right around you. It could be a pregnancy coach, or it could be your medical team, or it could be your partner or your relatives, whosoever you think is your biggest support. I'm sure that in this video you must have gotten some clarity about your first trimester, but I assure you, you don't have to do this alone. In my program, I help women and support them throughout their pregnancy. I prepare them for labor. I also support them in the first 40 days after they deliver the baby. So if you want any support, I'm right here for you. If you need support on this channel, just comment down below and I'll respond to your comment. I'll see you in my next video. Let's prepare for your pregnancy together.